Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of Wolcen, Lords of Mayhem, and happy April 1st. This video almost started as a April Fool's joke. I was going to make a video on Wolcen 2 and it coming out and being in development. The problem is that might not be an April Fool's joke. Yes, there's a current rumor that Wolcen Studios is working on the second iteration of Wolcen. Now, that's for a separate video, okay? You're probably thinking, ooh, is that true? I will make that video at a later date. This video is about their March update or their March communication that they just released. So we're gonna take a look at that and we're gonna check out some Steam charts to see if there are people still playing this game. Now, before we begin, like I just said, it's April 1st. I'm hoping today is the day I have earned your subscription. I'm hoping today is the day you make the decision to push that little red button. I follow Wolcen so you don't have to, so hopefully I've earned your click. That's all I'm gonna say about that. If you haven't heard, I've officially started a Patreon. Thank you to the first 34 people that have signed up. It is the #1 way to keep me full-time on YouTube. All the likes, shares, comments, and subs help push the channel forward. But if you want to take it one step further and support me financially and become an Action RPG VIP, and get Patreon exclusive content, it is the first link in the description. All right, as always, I will share my thoughts. Please feel free to share yours in the comment section below. Here we go right now. Ready? How many people still play Wolcen? Now, we just had the Stormfall update. What was this, about a couple months ago? And as you know, this game peaked almost at one point at 130,000 players. Since then, it has cratered into the hundreds, and every single weekday, okay, because I want to be clear with my numbers, every weekday it goes into double digits. So some point during the day, it will go into double digits. Thursday, March 31st, 95, keep going back. Wednesday, 92, and you can just keep tracking it. Tuesday, 96, Monday, 91. Again, every single, even Sunday on the weekend, it went to 95. But normally Saturday and Sunday and Friday can maintain triple digits, okay? So it has fallen to double digits. That is worldwide for Wolcen Lords of Mayhem. Unfortunately, there is not that many people playing this game. So Aaron, why do you continue to cover it? Well, some people think, oh, you just cover it because it's a meme at this point and it's funny, but ultimately, I still cover Wolcen. One, nobody else covers it, okay? And two, I have faith, not in Wolcen Studios, but in the game, in the product. I am hoping that someone swoops in and buys the game from them, because from the time it's released, you could feel the potential. This game, given to the right studio, it could be a great game. That's why I continue to cover it. And I think you guys like it. I don't know. Okay, so there is still some people playing it, just not many. Right now I'm on the official Steam page for Wolcen Lords of Mayhem. This was posted Thursday, March 31st. Monthly development update. Again, it is, also hilarious. It's something that we've made fun of in the past, that they have said that they are determined to give us monthly communication. So on what day do they drop the March update? On the last day of the month. If they didn't drop it then, they would have broken their word, and they've already broken their word in the past. But anyways, March 31st, monthly development update for March. This month we will be covering a section of topics, including a much requested gameplay change, some under the hood changes that will improve player experience in and out of the game, and another look at the UI changes coming with controller support. So here's the big news: animation canceling. This is what they want to add to Wolcen Lords of Mayhem. That's right, animation canceling is coming to Wolcen Lords of Mayhem. It is still in the testing phase, but we want to give you a quick overview of the changes we are planning to bring about this much requested feature. I didn't request it, but that's okay. Wolcen's combat is designed to have a deliberate and measurable style that requires players to consider their situation before using an ability or moving. Not unless you use my minion build, then you just run around. With patch 1130, we changed potion so that you could be consumed at any time. And now with animation canceling, we are freeing up player agency even more for those who want it, while still retaining the distinctly Wolcen-esque feel. With animation canceling, combat will become even more dynamic, faster paced, and yet still require clever thinking and planning for players to succeed, let alone survive moment to moment. Now, I have no problem with this. Animation canceling in an ARPG is great if they can do it effectively. You know, obviously, we'll see in the future, and probably the very distant future. To give you an idea of how it works, any action, attack, or skill will consider a 3-phase: anticipation, hit, and backswing. And here is it right here. You can see it on the screen. Let me go up a little bit. All right. So you have can be canceled in anticipation, no cancel, which is the actual hit, and then can be canceled, which is the backswing. So if you get really good at this, you can actually have much more DPS by canceling skills once the hit is complete. Or, you know, how often do you try to use a skill and you wish you didn't use it? If you're quick, you can cancel it to use another skill or reposition yourself. Bosses and enemies are always moving around. That just gives you that much more mobility and control over your character. This swing right here is really weird. Like his arm, you guys see this, right? His arm is like, you see it, it's all jacked up, but it's fine. I mean, I understand what they're trying to show us. Depending on which phase you issue a second action in, you will either cancel the first action and commence your second action, or queue your second action. Moving or dodging can also serve to cancel an action. Issuing a second action during anticipation phase will immediately cancel the current action and commence the anticipation phase of your second action. If the current action is in the smaller hit phase, your second action will instead be queued and will trigger once the current action hit phase is complete. If the current animation is the backswing phase, the first action's animation will cancel and your second action's anticipation phase will begin. It makes perfect sense. We just got to play it. Skill canceling during anticipation. Okay, all right, and yeah, cancellation's coming. Great. Other behind the scene changes. I got a feeling you're on pins and needles. Two important but overlooked systems are getting massive overhauls that will result in a smoother experience for players across the board. Firstly, the transparency system. Ooh, they should take the transparency system and they should issue this to the studio. Wolcen, Lords of May. Never mind. The system is responsible for hiding objects, surfaces, walls between the players and camera, and has been completely rewritten. You may have noticed that the current system can occasionally fail to disevolve objects and thus obstruct player view, as well as have some limitations of performance. The new system is bug-free, smarter, more flexible, and will give players a smoother and faster experience. Great, that's just what we've been waiting for. Secondly, Navmesh Pruning. This is a very important system despite sounding suspiciously like something related to gardening. And Navmesh determines what areas of the environment both the player and the enemies can spawn and move on. You may on occasion have noticed an enemy hiding just out of reach behind a wall or found yourself stuck on an unescapable ledge. I have noticed that. This was due to, in effect, to insufficient or inaccurate pruning of the Navmesh. I'm probably not saying that right. This fixes we're putting together will allow for more precise pruning and will ultimately result in far cleaner experience for both players and the unfortunate enemies. Okay. This next part I'm not going to read. I'm already reading way too much. What they're doing, patch size improvements and delivery. They said CryEngine is big and most hotfixes are 15 gigabytes and those are a thing of the past. They're now going to be smaller because they're working with people that are helping them drop smaller patches with the same info. Sweet! Controller support! Last month, we gave you the first look at UI changes that will accompany controller support. For those of you with a stylistic flair, this month we'll be making a trend of it by showing you the new cosmetic screen, the main improvements outside of the update visuals. Dyes are now sorted by color and then by shade. So this is great. I've always liked the customization feeling and what you can do with Wolcen. So now you'll be able to see all the colors a lot better arranged by actual shade of the color. So it's like the teals, the purples, the oranges, the reds, the pinks, the blues. It'll be really easy to see. On top of that, they are adding a customization tab for your pets. So now you can customize the way your pets look and the way you look. You guys ready for this? You ready for this? Very good. Again, we want more content to play, but this is good. This is good. That's all for this month, folks. As usual, feel free to join the official Discord if you want to engage with our community, send your feedback, or send us direct messages regarding anything Wolcen related. Have a fantastic day. Now, normally what I would do is go through and like, oh, let's read the comments and see what people are saying. We're not going to do that. I haven't read them yet, and I'm scared to see what they say. All right, we'll read the first one on the fly. We're going to read the first one. Discuss. Let's see. I was hoping you had something to share regarding any progress you have made regarding the big legendary items overhaul. At least that's something you announced quite some time ago, but we haven't heard about it since during the last few dev blogs. Has it been postponed? Also, what about any of these? Do you even have them on your radar list at all? According to your roadmap, it seems unfortunately not. Online play, sync server fixes, search party group matchmaking improvements, global in-game chat, missing acts 4 and 5, revised story / campaign mode, make it possible to revisit places you've already been to. Also, your new system bug-free. Yeah, sure, especially when, okay, well, again, this is just me clicking on it. I didn't want to read it, but there's the first comment that popped up. Doesn't seem very happy. Okay, everyone, that's the video. Believe it or not, I actually have a lot of Wolcen content planned, okay? We're gonna talk about if it's true that potentially Wolcen 2 is in the works. Also, you're probably not surprised, but they've been doing a lot of nefarious things on their Discord server and Reddit as far as censorship, blocking people's feedback, a lot of bad stuff. So we're gonna talk about that in later videos. This is just more an update on what is happening from Wolcen's front and their communication for March. So that's all I've got. I want to know your opinion. Are you happy with these changes? Is this enough? If all this stuff that they just talked about entered the game right now, would you come back to Wolcen Lords of Mayhem? Let me know in the comment section below. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I've officially started a Patreon. Thank you to the first 34 people that have signed up. It is the #1 way to keep me full-time on YouTube. You become an instant ARPG VIP, access to me if you have any questions, and get Patreon exclusive content. First link in the description. I would really appreciate it. Unlike Wolcen, if you haven't joined the official Action RPG Discord, please do so. We don't censor. Great conversations every day. The idea is to create a gaming community that could jump from game to game together, so you don't start the server alone. Link for that Discord is also in the description. Hope you all enjoyed this video. One take, 13 minutes. It's actually a little long. Hopefully you were entertained or at least learned something. Aaron, out.